Now, first on the Western Slope, you're watching KREX 5 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, and thank you for continuing your day with all of us here on KREX 5 News at Noon. Hope you had a great Christmas. I'm Chance Sticklin. December is an important time of the year to remember the dangers of avalanches and how to avoid a life-threatening situation. Avalanche officials in Colorado say a backcountry skier died after he was fully buried in an avalanche on Christmas Eve. They say it happened near Cameron Pass. Connor McHugh now reports with more.
So we had an avalanche warning out for this area at the time.
On Friday, an avalanche on South Diamond Peak near Cameron Pass buried and killed a man backcountry skiing in the area. It marks the first fatal avalanche accident of the season at a time when statewide danger is high.
All of these accidents are tragic. We're doing our best to warn people.
Ethan Green is with the Colorado Avalanche Information Center. He says the current threat is due to a combination of new snow piling on a weak bottom layer.
When you put a lot of weight on the snowpack in a short amount of time, it has a hard time adjusting for that, and it breaks and produces avalanches.
Green says it's a situation that may even get worse with several snowstorms in the forecast.
Every time we get a storm that loads that up, the avalanche danger is going to go up. And if we get some calm periods, it'll drop back down. But we'll probably just have sort of a lurking avalanche danger at that point.
Last winter, 12 people died in what was the deadliest avalanche season in Colorado history. Green says while this year the conditions are similar, the result doesn't have to be.
Check the avalanche forecast and get current conditions so they know what's happening today, and they can make sure that they match their recreational goals with those current conditions.
That was Connor McHugh reporting. Now, the major factors that increase the risk of an avalanche are large quantities of new snow, high winds, and drastic changes in the temperatures. If you ever encounter an avalanche while in your vehicle, there are several precautions you can take to keep yourself safe. CDOT suggests to stay in your vehicle and keep windows rolled up. Turn off your vehicle to prevent carbon monoxide filling up the car. Call for help on your cell phone and plan ahead this winter season by keeping additional food, water, blankets, and of course clothing in your vehicle. For the latest avalanche forecasts across the state, you can find more information at avalanche.state.co.us. Well, as we approach the heart of the winter here on the Western Slope, one ice park just a short drive down the road is back open after a huge rockfall destroyed parts of the park earlier this year. With ice falls 150 feet deep that stretch for more than a mile, the Ouray Ice Park is in the crown jewel of Colorado ice climbing. But this beauty isn't the work of Mother Nature. Pipelines the canyon spraying water out of shower heads over the cliffs when it's cold. The damage caused by the rockfall was extensive, but with the reopening in Ouray, ice climbers are excited to get back to doing what they enjoy.
People might think ice climbing is for advanced people with already have a bunch of skills. It's not the case. Oh man, it feels incredible dropping down into the canyon here. It's amazing.
The park is free to use, so if you are still on vacation mode at the end of the holiday weekend, it would definitely be worth the trip. Well, this afternoon, we take a look at the most recent COVID case count for Mesa County. On your screen there, according to the most recent information posted on the county's data dashboard, there are 81 new cases of coronavirus. The one-week average positivity rate is at 4.8%. 38 people are currently hospitalized, and there have been 26 deaths reported within the past 2 weeks. Well, this winter season is a time of giving, and this time of the year, locals need more support than ever. Hilltop, a local organization, just gathered together more than 100 volunteers to feed seniors across the Western Slope this holiday weekend. Hilltop worked diligently to make 550 meals for clients of Meals on Wheels, that's 200 more meals than last year, as the Grand Valley has seen a greater need for support this winter. While Meals on Wheels is a year-round program, Hilltop steps in on December 24th, Christmas Eve, to give that organization and its volunteers a break while helping serve their community.
I love it because it's like sharing is like helping.
We really love helping and giving back to our community. Hilltop's mission is people first, and we decided that we wanted to give the staff and the volunteers at Meals on Wheels a little break so that they can enjoy their holiday. And people love giving back. I absolutely don't have any problem getting volunteers to help out with this event because it's just so fun, and it just feels good to help out those that need it.
For more information on Hilltop and how you can get involved, we will have more information on our website, westernslopennow.com. Well, decorating the lone evergreen tree taking root off Highway 50 in western Colorado has become a tradition spanning multiple generations. The tree has become a symbol of hope to the many travelers on the stretch of dusty road. So we sent Rob Hagan to find out how this tradition all got started.
Somewhere between mile markers 55 and 56 off Highway 50 in the barren desert of western Colorado stands a symbol of hope known by many names.
What do you know the tree by?
Fool's Hill's Christmas tree.
Many stories spanning generations tell the tale of the lone evergreen tree taking root in the inhospitable landscape, and this Delta historian says part of his family tree is tied to the tradition.
My grandmother's first cousin's husband worked for he was a heavy equipment operator, and he was working on the highway. The highway department was widening the road up there, and this juniper tree was right next to the highway, and they didn't want to have to grade it, so they got permission to move it further out.
The Fool's Hill tree was actually two trees in the late 50s, but the smaller of the two died after relocation, and the original tree died in the late 80s. The newest replacement is a blue spruce planted in 2002, but it's unclear who was the first to decorate the tree that's become tradition.
There was one year when I was in college commuting to Mesa. I stopped and put a couple baubles on it.
Charles Kuralt also took notice of the tree and featured the story in the late 70s. Kuralt wrote, "Just looking at it makes you think about how unexpected life on Earth can be. The tree is so lonely and so brave that it seems to offer courage to those who pass and a message. It is the Christmas message, that there is life and hope even in a rough world."
If you get a chance this time of year, have a look. It's actually beautiful country out there.
Whether you call it the little desert tree, the Fool's Hill tree, or the Highway 50 tree, this lonely blue spruce against the painted sky will inspire hope to travelers as they gaze upon the miracle growing in the desert. First on the Western Slope, I'm Rob Hagan with KREX 5 News, wishing all of you a Merry Christmas.
Rob, thank you. Something most of us have is about to get a whole lot more expensive: passports. It will cost you more to apply for or renew your passport starting today. The new and replacement passport fees will jump to around $165. Renewals will cost $130, and passports for travelers under 16 will be $135. It was a difficult Christmas weekend for thousands of Americans because of the latest COVID surge. Many travelers found themselves on epic journeys after infections among pilots, crew, and airline staff caused last-minute flight changes. This weekend, more than 3,000 flights were canceled across the U.S. Jonathan Vigliotti now reports with more from Los Angeles.
I think I felt pretty deflated, sort of dispirited.
Spending Christmas Eve alone in an airport hotel wasn't what Rohit Tawani had in mind for the holidays this year.
Midway through my first flight, got a notification that my connecting flight was canceled and that there were no other flights for the day, and the next earliest flight was going to be the following afternoon, which would mean that I was going to miss being at home for Christmas and miss Christmas Eve with my family.
Tawani was told his flight was canceled because of COVID-related airline crew shortages.
It's frustrating that the pandemic still keeps affecting our lives in so many different ways, even 2 years out.
Tawani wasn't alone. More than 2,000 flights were canceled on Saturday and Sunday, in part due to COVID. United Airlines said the nationwide spike in Omicron cases this week has had a direct impact on our flight crews and the people who run our operation.
Omicron is the Grinch that stole Christmas from airline passengers.
Henry Hardevelt is a travel industry analyst.
Airlines can't operate flights without the required number of pilots and flight attendants. Safety comes first.
And now, several airlines are calling on the CDC to update its COVID guidance for the fully vaccinated and reduce the quarantine isolation period from 10 days to 5 for those who have breakthrough cases.
The government approved this request for the healthcare industry. And honestly, if it's good enough for hospital workers, for nurses and doctors, I think it should be good enough for the airline industry as well.
It wasn't just trouble in the skies. The cruise ship industry is also facing COVID disruptions. 3 cruise lines had outbreaks on board in the last week, with dozens of passengers testing positive and forced to quarantine.
You had to be fully vaccinated and you had to have a negative test 2 days before. I mean, what more could they do before you boarded the ship?
A lot of frustration. Hartevelt says some of the best advice for travelers, especially if you're flying, is to sign up for text alerts. That way you'll be notified immediately if there are any disruptions to your plans. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Jonathan, thank you. When we come back, a lot of exciting news to get to in Montrose. Tanya Maddox will join me live in the studio to discuss everything going on in Montrose. We'll be right back.